Today we will be speaking with David K. Miller on the subject of crop circles and medicine wheels healing the earth. Good morning, David.
Yeah, good morning, Christine. It's great to be here, to be doing this interview with you.
So David, could you please introduce yourself and say how long you have been channeling and how you came to establish the group of 40?
Well, I am a trance channel, and also I am a psychotherapist and an author. And I have written 11 books on various subjects dealing with higher dimensional beings, including the Arcturians. And I have written about a new spiritual technique and paradigm called the Sacred Triangle. In addition, I am a student of the Kabbalah, and I've written 2 books on the Kabbalah, and I am a student of classical Hebrew. And during the past 20 years, I've been channeling. During this time, I established a meditation group called the Group of 40, which is focused on personal and planetary healings and personal and planetary ascension. I have given numerous workshops around the world on these subjects, and of course I'm very happy to have an opportunity now to speak about my work and about the higher dimensional energies and how these energies can be used for planetary evolution and for the evolution of humanity.
You channel many ascended masters. Could you explain whom you will be channeling today as we explore the subject of crop circles and medicine wheels healing the earth? And can you please explain the term biorelativity?
Okay, Christine, well, I work with approximately 10 different ascended masters. Ascended masters are higher dimensional beings who are on the level of Jesus, Sananda, or the archangels. I call them higher extra-dimensional beings. The higher extra-dimensional beings that I channel include the Arcturians, which are fifth-dimensional planetary level beings who are in charge of the Stargate. The Stargate has been referred to in Edgar Cayce's writings. It is a portal in which souls who are completing the Earth incarnational process can graduate and go on to higher dimensional places. I channel a soul psychologist named Viwamas. I also channel one Native American named Chief White Eagle. And the Arcturians I channel primarily include Giuliano, who is a overseer of the Arcturians' interaction with the Earth. I channel Archangel Michael and the Archangel Metatron. So those are the primary ones, and as I've said earlier, I've been channeling them for approximately 20 years. Now, regarding this term that you use, biorelativity, I'm very happy you brought this term up. During my earlier channelings, I became very interested in the Earth crisis and the transitions which could be possibly catastrophic that the Earth is now experiencing. I became aware of some geologists and geophysicists who were studying the effects of people's thinking and energies and how that energies and their thoughts might affect the Earth. In particular, there was an interest in the relationship between earthquakes in California and the types of meditations or thinking that special spiritual people might use. So there was a geologist and geophysicist named Dr. Goodman who studied these effects, and he called the telepathic communication or meditation techniques that are directed towards the Earth for the purposes of modifying or changing Earth events as biorelativity. Now, in using the term biorelativity, he specifically was studying the relationship of group meditations and even prayers and how this could affect the possibility of Earth events. But in my work with the channel beings known as the Arcturians, I found that they also were using this term biorelativity, but in a much more broad sense than even Dr. Goodman had originally explained. And they compared it even to the Native Americans who were doing medicine wheel practices, rain prayers, and the Arcturians spoke about the Native peoples in general, that many Native peoples are already practicing biorelativity and have been doing it for centuries. So the Arcturians told me that those planets that are going through changes need to be practicing biorelativity so that they can develop a relationship with the spirit of a planet. Now, biorelativity implies very directly that the Earth is a living planet. And the Earth is a living planet based on the fact that it has a feedback loop system, that it has an interactive system, and that it has other aspects that lead us to conclude that the Earth has a spiritual force in its oceans and in its core as a planet. So biorelativity then is the way of harnessing group energy and group thinking to modify and to help balance the Earth for the greatest good.
Well, I would like to begin by asking, who is sending the crop circles?
The Arcturians tell me that the higher dimensional beings from the galaxy are sending these crop circles. These higher dimensional beings are sending these circles, these crop circles, as part of a pattern of communicating with the spirit of the Earth. Now remember, when I'm defining biorelativity, I'm saying that the biorelativity is a process in which people meditate, pray, or come together in some way, including in medicine wheels from the Native American tradition, to influence and to speak directly to the Earth. Well, these higher dimensional beings are sending these crop circle images or these crop circle dynamic creations to communicate to the spirit of the Earth. The Arcturians inform us about images, and images are very important, and I know this work that I have been doing as a psychotherapist often leads me to the study of the subconscious and the unconscious. It's been well known in psychology and psychotherapy that when one studies the subconscious, the most effective method of subconscious and unconscious communications is through images. And everyone knows that when they dream, for example, it's primarily in images. Sometimes there are verbal stories or verbal messages, but primarily it's images. Now, I bring this up because the Earth also has a subconscious. The Earth also has an unconscious. And it's been referred to in the writings as the collective unconscious, and this was a term used by Carl Jung. And there's also another term used by Teilhard de Chardin, who is a famous French philosopher who used the term noosphere. So then these are terms that are referring to the collective energy field of the Earth that's similar to the our understanding of the subconscious. So this is another way of saying that the planet has a subconscious. So if we follow this line of thinking, that is that images are the primary means of communication in the human subconscious, then we can also conclude that images would be a primary way of communicating with the Earth's subconscious or unconscious. Therefore, these crop circles are particular geometric patterns that have information and codes that can be used by the Earth. Now, and they can be used by the Earth for balancing and for rebalancing and also for expansion of the Earth's energy fields and the Earth's meridians. At the same time, these images of the crop circles can also be interpreted and used by humanity. So generally, I concluded that these crop circles are coming from higher sources in the galaxy who are hoping and wishing to help us in balance and expand the Earth.
Some people have reported seeing balls or orbs of light making the crop circles. Can you tell us what these are?
Well, in my opinion, balls of or orbs of light are tails of dimensional light. This means that these crop circles are coming from higher dimensional sources. Now, the fifth dimension in particular is the energy field that I am most interested in. And there has been a lot of interaction between the third dimension and the fifth dimension. This interaction results from the touching or the interacting of the third dimensional energy field with the fourth dimensional energy field and the fifth dimensional energy field. This means that when there is any type of connection between the third and fifth dimension, there can naturally be streams of light, fragments of light that you call orbs of light, because these crop circles are coming from a higher dimension and they are being downloaded into the third dimension. Therefore, as a result of this touching of the dimensions, there will naturally be balls or orbs of light that are tails or leftovers from this interaction.
Why is it that so many crop circles are appearing each year, and especially in southern England? Last summer, 2014, for example, many beautiful crop circles appeared in England. Why is southern England so important?
Well, it's not totally logical, and it's not easily explained why one part of the world would be more likely to be showing the crop circles. When I have talked with my guides and teachers, they have said that England plays an important role because it's close to the prime meridian line of the planet, and as you probably know, Greenwich Mean Time and the meridian for Greenwich Mean Time, which is 000 midnight, is the basis for the world clock, world time zones, and is also the prime meridian of the planet. The planet has meridians, just like the human body has meridians, and these meridians are in very special places in the energy field of the planet. And I can speculate that southern England is close to some primary meridians which are important for the overall energetic balance of the Earth. But I still believe that we need to do more research and seek greater understanding as to the meridian lines on the planet and how we can work with this. I can again speculate that the openings in the meridian lines in southern England are especially powerful, and this would be explain why so many of the crop circles are appearing there, because I believe that the higher dimensional beings are wanting to download these images into the subconscious or the noosphere of the earth. The energy in southern England, based on the meridian theory, may be the most receptive to this energy.
Can you explain what is meant by holographic healing?
Holographic healing is based on the concept of the hologram. And the simplest way for me to explain it is that the part represents the whole. So if you take a picture of an apple and then you slice a small piece of the apple, then that small piece of the apple, it contains all the information to reproduce the entire apple. Therefore, we call the slice of the apple a hologram. In another view, the earth, although we are like a speck of sand in the universe, even though we are such a small speck of sand, we can access and we can understand all aspects of the universe. So again, the part represents the whole. This term and this idea of holographic healing then is important for both personal and planetary healing. You and I are manifesting on the earth at this moment, and we have an incarnation, but who we are and who we appear in this incarnation is one aspect of our greater selves. So we have had many past lives, we've had many future, and we'll have many future lives. So the holographic idea is that we can use this incarnation to access greater energies of our true and dynamic self. Holographic healing implies that in order to heal ourselves, that is, bring ourselves into greater balance, we need to gain a expanded consciousness of our true nature in all aspects of ourselves. And we need to understand that this current aspect is one part of our greater self, and that's why holographic healing puts us in touch with our greater selves, including our eternal being. And by getting in contact with that greater part of ourselves, we find ourselves in a great position to heal ourselves.
A very interesting, intriguing crop circle that looks a bit like a parachute appeared at Badbury Rings in Dorset on June 17th last summer, 2014. Who sent it and what is its purpose?
Well, this again is a representation of certain aspects of cosmic energy and cosmic light. And the what you call a parachute is also a symbolic representation of higher energy fields connected to lower energy fields. And part of this beautiful crop circle is related to the Kabbalistic tree of life, which has 10 spheres in it. And each sphere represents a greater awakening or a greater aspect of cosmic energy that is necessary for the manifestation and holding of all of the balance of energy that is related to the third dimension. So this crop circle is showing that in particular the higher form or higher sphere is related to a dynamic force that totally transcends our normal consciousness, and that this reaches out into higher circles. If you notice that the top part of the crop circle is in a half circle, and then the next is a triangle, and the bottom part is a two intersecting triangles, and then the very bottom looks like a half a moon, which in the half moon on the bottom is representing the third dimension where we are, and all of these forces that are interacting. Now, I've said that these crop circles also have a specific purpose for the planet, and that one of the purposes of these crop circles is to help the Earth open up its meridians so that the meridians are able to receive the cosmic energy. It's difficult to imagine, yet I believe from a higher perspective that the Earth is continually interacting with higher cosmic energy forces, that we are not just an isolated solar system or an isolated planet which has no interaction, but we do have interaction. We have interaction with the zodiac. We have interaction with planetary forces that transcend our solar system, but we also have interactions with the galaxy and with cosmic forces. And this beautiful crop circle is demonstrating that we do have higher forces that are coming in, but they must be channeled, they must be downloaded, and they must be brought into a form from this higher cosmic energy which can be assimilated. So again, we see the greater energy field on top, and then it's being brought into a more assimilated version that can be downloaded into the Earth. So this is a brief overview of how this crop circle can be interpreted from the fifth dimensional perspective. And I want to say, because this crop circle does have very specific references which are similar to the Tree of Life, I would like to tell everyone again that the Tree of Life is a dynamic, holographic, cosmic paradigm that was developed by Jewish mystics centuries ago, millennium ago, that represent the dynamic forces that are at the core of the creation of our universe.
The Milk Hill Galaxy Spiral, which appeared in Wiltshire, England in 2001, is one of the largest crop circles, about 800 feet in diameter, and it contains 409 circles. I understand it was formed during a rainstorm, yet there are many people who believe that the crop circles are man-made. Could you please comment on this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to comment on the fact that the crop circles are man-made. If these crop circles are man-made, then we need to interview and work with the people and the men who are creating them so that they could share their cosmic wisdom and knowledge with us. I know that there have been several programs on the History Channel which have attempted to show how these crop circles are fraudulent, and then how people go out with boards and rakes in the middle of the night and create these images. And I've even seen two people who have proposed that they were in charge of this. But this is another example. This crop circle is an example of a very complex pattern that really, I think, would transcend the normal charlatan or fraud person who thinks he can fool people by putting these beautiful images together. So we could debate this, for quite some time, but my conclusion is these are far too dynamic, too geometric, and also too strongly based in cosmic symbology to just be done haphazardly by some charlatans on the earth. Now this one that you referred to, first of all, is carrying the cosmic imagery of the spiral. And the spiral is one of the predominant shapes of galaxies. The galaxies come in very different shapes, but even though they're in different shapes, there seem to be several patterns of galactic shapes that are can be put into categories. And this one in particular is referring to the spiral shape which our Milky Way galaxy is. Our Milky Way galaxy is a spiral shape. Now, the spirals are done in many different configurations. Some of them are elongated spirals. Some of them are compact spirals. Now this one is a little bit more compact, but it does show a center which we call the central sun. So this picture is showing the cosmic imagery or paradigm of the spiral, the shape of the galaxy, but it's also, as you know, demonstrating different circles. And if you look at the pictures of the Milky Way through astronomical images that have been reproduced, you usually don't see these little circles, small little circles, but rather you see these lines of star light, and they're not broken down into these small circles. So why are they breaking it down into small circles? And the reason is because this particular crop circle diagram is not only showing the spiral shape, but it's trying to give us information on the number of planetary systems in this galaxy that have life forms in them. So you're looking at large planets, small planets, and that it is suggesting that these planets have a linkage. And it is truly fascinating when you count up all of them. You would see that there are quite a few numbers of planets in our galaxy of all sizes. And the important thing is that all of these planetary systems are going to or need to come together in some type of energy configuration, in some type of energy thought field. And this is representative of that. This thought field could be in the shape of a spiral also. And that the Earth, being of a, say, modest, a medium to small size planet, can fit into the spiral energy field of the galaxy and the inter-network of planets. The Earth is a relatively small planet in the scheme of things, and many of the planets that have been discovered, and I think at this point there have been something like 500 planets that are extra solar planets outside of our system, solar system, but most of them that have been discovered have been very large planets like Jupiter. But there are many small planets, and this configuration is giving us information that there are smaller planets as well as larger planets. Now, the reason why we're not discovering the smaller planets is because our technology and our ability to differentiate the smaller planets is not as highly refined. So we're pretty much at the level of, you know, scientifically being able to discover the larger planets. But nonetheless, there will become a time soon when we'll be discovering smaller planets.
Could you tell us who made this crop circle?
I can only say that these crop circles are coming from higher dimensional beings. They could be coming from the Arcturians. They could be coming from the Pleiadians. They also could be coming from extraplanetary sources extragalactic sources that could include the Andromedans. But I don't have the specific answer at this point to who did this one.
Can you say something about the geometry of the crop circles? How is it that patterns that contain concentric circles, triangles, and rectangles can be of a healing nature?
Well, there's a study of the geometry in general called fractal geometry, which is the study of shapes and patterns and how these shapes and patterns are the foundational forces that hold the planet together. And if you look at the tree of life, which incidentally it can be represented and referred to in many crop circles, you'll see many different patterns. You'll see patterns that are circular, you'll see patterns that are triangular, you'll see rectangles, you'll see octagons, many different shapes. These patterns are representative of describing the interrelationship between the different life forces that hold the planet together and hold actually this dimension together. So we on the Earth at this point still are working to understand the nature of the geometric patterns and what they're trying to teach us. So I would say that these patterns, concentric, triangular, and rectangular, are healing because they are showing us the interconnectedness of all life forms, the interconnectedness of all aspects of our reality. And this is one of the main teachings of the basic core crop circle, which I call the tree of life. That is, that we cannot understand the nature of any energy field standing alone. We must be able to understand it in terms of how it relates to all aspects. Therefore, these crop circles are showing the interrelationship of various aspects of our reality that are in these patterns.
So are you saying then that the human mind is not necessarily capable of understanding the sacred geometry?
No, the human mind is capable of understanding human geometry, but it can only be done in a state of expanded consciousness. We are experiencing what I call restricted consciousness or normal consciousness. And there are various reasons why we're experiencing this, but part of it is cultural, part of it is how we've been trained. So we can, and the human mind is capable of understanding and working with this sacred geometry. and these different fractal images. However, in order to totally understand them, you have to be in a state of expanded consciousness. I often refer to Pablo Picasso, who was in a highly advanced state of consciousness when he was doing many of his paintings, especially when he was in this phase called Cubism, where he was studying and he was working with sacred patterns and sacred geometry. So the human mind is capable of understanding sacred geometry.
And what about the Earth? Is the Earth responding to the sacred geometry?
The Earth responds to sacred geometry, but it needs the interaction of thought patterns and thought fields. One of the things that I learned in studying about biorelativity is that the force and the power of the images needs the human thought form, needs the human energy field. And therefore, the Earth is awakening, just as mankind is awakening to its place in the universe. So the Earth is awakening to its part, and the sacred geometry is helping the Earth to awaken. So the Earth is responding to the sacred geometry because the Earth wants also to be part of its heritage, its galactic heritage.
You mentioned in your introduction the spiritual technique and spiritual paradigm called the sacred triangle. A crop circle appeared in Charlton, Wiltshire on July 8, 2014, last summer, which appears to be the sacred triangle. Could you explain what the sacred triangle represents and who sent this crop circle?
Well, the sacred triangle is a paradigm for planetary healing. We believe that there must be a unity of spiritual forces on the Earth to create a planetary healing. We see those spiritual forces as representing three distinct spiritual approaches. One is called galactic spirituality. The second is called the white brotherhood, white sisterhood, or mystical parts of the religions on the planet. And the third is the native peoples. The reason why we feel, or the Arcturians feel, that this paradigm is essential focuses on the fact that each part of this paradigm represents a needed section and has a needed contribution to the overall unity of this planet. Certainly, the native peoples by themselves have a direct understanding of how to relate to the Earth, but they are not powerful enough alone. The higher thinkers and higher spiritual essences of all the religions carries a deep power. But even the religions don't seem to be able to foster the necessary agreements and unity to bring this planet into balance. Finally, the galactic spirituality represents the third side of what the Arcturians call the sacred triangle. Galactic spirituality includes the ability to see the Earth in a relationship to the entire galaxy and to understand that the Earth is going through planetary stages of development that relate to the galaxy. But most important, the Earth is part of a galactic heritage and a galactic set of masters called the Galactic Ascended Masters, who come from higher dimensional places in the galaxy and are wishing to make a valuable contribution to the Earth's overall balance and healing. This triangle that you see was created by the Arcturians, including my colleague Helioa, but it also represents the fact that there are multiple points on each side of the triangle, and that there are different sections and different groups of native peoples. There are different groups of mystical, religious, and there are different sections of the galactic masters. But all of these parts come together in a circle, and it's a circle of unity. And when the humanity and the Earth achieve this unification of what the Arcturians call the sacred triangle, then there will be a healing paradigm that will bring a new balance to the planet.
Native American spirituality is an important component part of the sacred triangle. You mentioned that native peoples have been practicing biorelativity for centuries using medicine wheels. Can a comparison be drawn between the crop circles and the Native American medicine wheels in terms of healing the earth through biorelativity?
Yes, we can compare the medicine wheels to the crop circles. The native peoples have been practicing biorelativity using many different methods, including the medicine wheel. The native peoples have understood that the earth is a living spirit. We, on the Western world, have a hard time accepting that the earth is a living organism or living spiritual being. But scientifically, more evidence is coming forth that the earth has a feedback loop system, that the earth has characteristics of that it can rebalance itself, and that the earth has a drive towards homeostasis, or bringing itself into balance. These are all properties of organisms that are living. The biorelativity is a method in which people connect telepathically with the spirit of the planet, and in particular are attempting to shift or change parts of the planet's environment and the planet's overall weather and volcanic or plates, so that there is not violent weather patterns, volcanic eruptions, or earthquakes. The earth relates particularly well to circles because this is one of the primary symbols of unity in the universe. If you will notice that the crop circle that we just looked at also has a prominent circle in it, and it can be viewed also, it can be created as a medicine wheel. The medicine wheel contains a pattern of energy that is able to go into the inner earth. The medicine wheel can be created and then it can be dispersed. The medicine wheel can be created over large areas or small areas. And most important, the medicine wheels can hold and be a focus for group prayers. I am hoping that many people will understand that one of the main functions of the crop circles is to hold prayers and to hold biorelativity sessions in which people can be inside the crop circles just like they are inside the medicine wheel, and the people will find they will be able to have a special communication and a special relationship telepathically with the spirit of the earth when they are in the crop circle. This is going to be very similar to the response people have towards the earth when they are in the medicine wheel.
I understand that the group of 40 held an emergency biorelativity meditation on March 1st to address the fires in Lago Puelo, Argentina, which had destroyed 75,000 acres of trees. No rain was forecast until April. However, after the biorelativity meditation, it rained the next day, and by the following day the fires were gone. How was this accomplished? Was a medicine wheel used, and why were the results so immediate?
Well, first of all, Lago Puelo is in the Patagonia area, which is in southern Argentina, and it's home to beautiful lakes and many ancient trees. The area had been experiencing extreme drought and dryness. And then there were lightning-caused and also human-caused fires in that area in late February, which was destroying large areas of the natural forest. No rain had fallen, and it looked very dire. We have many light workers and starseeds that are working with us in Argentina, and they contacted me and my group, the group of 40, and asked that we do emergency biorelativity. Now, emergency biorelativity means that we gather a large group of people to meditate and to telepathically connect with the spirit of the earth. Within a 24-hour period, I was able to bring together 55 people who were willing to meditate with us, and we followed a certain protocol. That protocol included connecting energetically with the earth and requesting that the earth send rain to that area as soon as possible. We were very fortunate in this example because we also had light workers at Lago Puelo who were meeting at a place where I had visited 2 years earlier, and where I, with about 30 other people, developed a very powerful medicine wheel. So that medicine wheel and the energy from that medicine wheel still was very strong. And the people in the area went to that same place where we had established the medicine wheel. Then we had many people that were connected through a phone line, and we were all chanting and praying and talking to the spirit of the earth together. It was a very powerful exercise. And because of the powerful work, and I think also because we had people on the ground at Lago Puelo, we were able to influence the weather patterns. We were told that the normal rainfall doesn't begin until the first or second week in April, yet within one day they experienced a light rain, and 2 or 3 days later they started experiencing significant rains, and by the end of the week all of the fires were under control. So I think one of the reasons why the results were so immediate is that we had an enthusiastic and strong group of people who were willing to work together on a short notice, and secondly, because we had the energy from the medicine wheel and we had light workers that were there at the scene of the problem, and this energy with our work created the necessary circumstances to bring rain to the area.
Well, these are very impressive results. This seems like a wonderful example of successfully communicating with the spirit of the earth and her feedback loop system.
Well, I was very impressed, and everyone who participated was impressed. We, at some point, would like to do a greater scientific survey in incidents like this, in which there was a pending crisis and a pending catastrophe, and it seems like through this methodology we were able to help avert the crisis. Now, I've done this on several other occasions with hurricanes and storms, and even in volcanic areas, and it seems like in many cases the problems were ameliorated. But like I said, at this point we need to do a more scientific survey and try to categorize and report the results. At this point, I can only offer anecdotal examples of where this seemed to have worked. But it is a wonderful example, and it does show anecdotally that a strong spiritually minded people who gather together in such exercises do seem to be able to connect with the spirit of the earth and bring and manifest a better balance so less harm comes to the environment.
So I see that one of the goals of biorelativity is to influence earth events such as storms, volcanoes, earthquakes, and droughts, and thus balance weather patterns.
Yes, I would say that is correct. I know that we have been talking with people about end time events, which seem to be a response that many people think the Earth's going to have to some of the blockages that we have created. In particular, I believe that the Earth has meridian systems and pathways just like mankind has meridian systems and pathways. When these pathways become blocked, then disruptions can occur. The Earth, the disruptions can be resolved through upheavals, through catastrophes such as earthquakes and storms. But we believe that things can be dissipated, or that such intense activities could be lessened so that it's not as harmful to mankind. I find that the earth and the spirit of the earth can be responsive to man. So if man asks that there not be quite as strong a storm, that it might be possible to lessen the storm. But I want to emphasize that there still needs to be a release of energy. It won't be that the earth will never have a volcanic eruption or never have a earthquake, but I think it's possible that through such exercises as biorelativity, that some of these can be lessened. In my connections with the Arcturians, I've learned that planets that are more advanced spiritually are able to better control the weather patterns so there are not catastrophes such as the catastrophes that occur frequently on the earth. So yes, we believe we can influence the violent storms, volcanoes, and earthquakes and droughts, and hopefully bring a better balanced weather pattern.
Some people believe that climate change is man-made, while others think that it is just a manifestation of natural climate cycles of the earth. What is your perspective on this issue?
Well, my perspective is that it is both. That surely there are natural climate cycles on the earth. It's pretty scientifically proven. Even there was a mini ice age during the Middle Ages, for example. And some people believe that part of that mini ice age was triggered by a volcanic eruption in the Indonesia area, which created blockages of sunlight. So that is one example. But it seems clear to many people that the release of carbon into the atmosphere has created the greenhouse effect. Now, I know the argument is being used that this has been a very harsh winter in the Northeast and in many parts of the United States, even in the Midwest. But one has to consider that it's the overall temperature of the Earth, not just the certain sections. And certain sections of the Earth in particular have been extremely warm. And it seems clear that the much of the ice caps or icebergs have been melting at a significant rate. So why has this change occurred since the Industrial Revolution, which began in the mid 1800s, Well, why is it accelerated during the past 50 years? Well, there is a correlation between the increase in the carbon releases and the greenhouse effect. So I think it's clear that it's a change, but there is also, as you pointed out, natural and man-made climate change, and I think we're experiencing an acceleration of man-made change.
So are strong storms, cyclones and flooding, for example, in response to man's actions?
Well, I believe that it is in part due to man's actions because, for example, the warming of the oceans and the warming of the currents, or even the changing of the currents, can produce different weather patterns. Everybody seems to understand that warmer weather and warmer ocean temperatures creates better conditions for more violent storms and for more cyclones and hurricanes. So that would be one example. But on a more subtle basis, I think it's necessary to look at the fact that the Earth has meridian lines, which are life force energy pathways, and many of these are blocked. So some of them are blocked by these huge dams that have been built. These waterways serve multi-purposes, not just for delivering water, but also for keeping the life force energy of the biosphere going. The ocean currents, some of them in the ocean, have cycles of 1,000 years. It was recently proposed that the ocean is one living organism. So what does that mean if we are placing all of this radioactive waste, garbage that's often the size of large islands floating through the ocean, and blocking or distorting the ocean currents? So I can conclude that we don't understand the complex relationship in the biosphere with the weather patterns and with the ocean currents. But we are trying to get a better handle on it. And in my opinion, it's amazing that the Earth has been able to stay in this balance, because we do need a certain percentage of oxygen, we do need a certain percentage of nitrogen. And the Earth is still able to maintain that balance, and man is still able to be here. And we hope that humanity will finally realize that there is something that can be done to rebalance the Earth, and that man's actions do have an effect on this complex weather pattern known as the global weather situation.
You mentioned earlier that people's energies and thoughts affect the Earth. So would you say then that the state of our planet mirrors all that is out of alignment with mankind in his relationship to the environment and on a personal level, and that thoughts create reality? So could harmonious, uplifting thoughts and feelings, for example, help create a harmonious new Earth?
Well, I think that the pattern of thinking and manifestation on the Earth is complex. You know, it'd be nice to say that it is very simple, and that all we have to do is get into harmonious thinking and that'll rebalance the Earth. But it's a combination that the Earth's people's energies and thoughts can affect the Earth, but don't forget that we are in a new era. We are in a new era in which there is a possibility of large groups around the globe interacting with the Earth. Before, in ancient times, working with the primitive peoples or the native peoples, they were able to work with the spirit of the Earth, but mostly locally. They didn't have the benefit of internet. They didn't have the advantage of looking at the Earth through the eyes of the moon or through the eyes of satellite. So we are in a new era in which we have access and can accelerate and enhance the ability of our energies and thoughts and proper thinking to affect the planet. The planet mirrors many of our thinking, but also many of our actions. And the planet, though, most importantly, tries to rebalance itself. You know, there's been great destructions of the forests, yet the Earth still is able to keep this percentage of oxygen going on the planet. Remember that some people even said that Brazil and the Amazon is like the lungs of the Earth. So even though so much has been destroyed, and some people would have predicted that our Earth percentages of oxygen would be far more dangerous, the fact is that the balance is still being maintained. So my point is that yes, we can maintain the balance, and the Earth can maintain a balance up to a certain point. But then we are at a crisis. We are at a point where the critical thinking and the harmonious thoughts are going to have a more powerful effect, especially since we are going to be able to work globally with many people around the planet, harmonizing their thoughts. So harmonizing thoughts can lift and create a more harmonious Earth, but it's not. But I would like to use the word more balanced. That we have to be more specific, that we want it more balanced, and that we are working to make more sacred places. One of the great teachings of the Arcturians is that we need more sacred energy. We need more holy places, because we have so polluted the planet that there is a lack of sacred energy, and sacred energy will bring a new balance. So we could say not only harmonious, uplifting thoughts, but creation of sacred spaces, creation of sacred places, and people harmonizing and helping to proliferate a greater number of sacredness in sacred areas on the planet.
So David, drawing upon your contact with Ascended Masters, could you suggest some beautiful thoughts and give us a simple and effective affirmation for those viewers who would like to participate in the healing of our planet and in the creation of heaven on earth right now?
Well, I think the greatest thought is that we love our mother, the Mother Earth. And the greatest thought is from the Native Americans, that we respect our mother. And that because we respect our mother, we want to take care of her and we honor her. And a simple affirmation would be that we honor and respect our Mother Earth, and that we are willing to listen to the Earth. It's not only that we send our thoughts to the Earth, but that we listen to what the Earth is saying. And if the Earth is saying that she needs more sacred places, let's try to do that. If the Earth says that we need to keep a river flowing so it's not blocked, let's do that. And I think the most important idea is that we are willing to work together with the Earth, that we are joined together in a union with this beautiful spirit, Mother Earth. I think that when we begin with that approach and begin with the fact we honor our mother, then we are moving on the right track. In 1987, on August 8th, there was an event on the planet called the Harmonic Convergence. And it was based in part on a certain alignment that was witnessed in the constellations and with the galaxy. And the idea was that we were going to be working together. I think that looking back, the total goals and the projections of harmony did not manifest as well as everyone had hoped. But it was a great idea, and it is a great thought that through the energy of a harmonic convergence, we can influence the balance of the life forces on this planet and ensure that this planet stay in its present form, keeping the biosphere going. So it's time that we ask again for new harmonic convergence on planet Earth. And harmonic convergence where we, the light workers, the star seeds, are going to work together with the spirit of the Earth in a new harmony and a new brotherhood, because the key is we will listen to the Earth, and then the Earth will listen to man. Many years ago, I had an opportunity to work with a Native American on this issue about the Earth's response. And he jokingly, but very also seriously, responded to the negative effects of all the nuclear bombs that we've dropped on the planet. And he, in a rather jokingly but also serious manner, said, "Man go boom, Earth go boom." And then he explained, if man's going to drop bombs on the Earth and blow up the Earth, then Earth is going to create more explosions too. The Earth is going to blow up parts of herself. Well, we don't want the Earth to blow up parts of herself because we need all the parts of the Earth. There's over 7.5 billion people on this planet right now. So that's a simple example that, now what's the opposite? If man agrees to go into harmony with the Earth will go into harmony with man. And I think that's a beautiful approach.
Also, for those viewers who would like to make a medicine wheel but do not have a garden or an outside area in which to make one, would an interior medicine wheel be just as effective, such as in your home?
Absolutely. The medicine wheel can be in your home, can be in your living room. It could be in the backyard. One of the great things is that by making the medicine wheel, you are saying that you are agreeing to make your space sacred. Where you stand is sacred. And so, yes, I think that these are great alternatives. If you do not have a garden, you can work in your house. And I have worked with people who have created medicine wheels inside of their house. So the key is that you want to make things more holy and sacred. And you want to hold the sacred light and sacred energy. So I encourage all of the viewers, wherever you are, to work with the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is simple as a circle that's divided up into 4 sections. And then there's a center circle, inner and outer circle. And there's great techniques and great methods on how to use the medicine wheel for both personal and planetary healing. And I'm hoping that all of the viewers will begin to explore and work with the sacred medicine wheels, and I hope they will see the connections between the medicine wheel and the crop circles.
Thank you so much, David, for the very enlightening and invaluable information. And in conclusion, I would like to ask you about the mission and purpose of the Group of 40. What does the Group of 40 do?
The Group of 40 is a organization of starseeds developed towards personal and planetary healing. We have goals of working towards the ascension. The ascension is the movement into the 5th dimension. So we want to teach about the ascension. The ascension was described in the Hebrew Bible. We have examples of Enoch and Elijah who ascended. We now believe that we are in an era of great spiritual awakening. Even though we are in an era of great earth changes, there is a high number of spiritually awakened beings on this planet now, and we are working to inform people about the higher dimensions and how we can, quote, ascend into those dimensions. We are teaching about creating a new balance on the earth through the creation of planetary cities of light. These are cities that are sacred and holy, and we do special healing exercises, creating sacred energy fields around the planet. And overall, our mission is to promote and to create the atmosphere and the methods for planetary healings using the techniques of biorelativity and meditation to create a new and more dynamic energy field. Ultimately, I think we're all going to learn that modern physics contributions to fields and the energy fields is also applicable to spirituality, and that the environment and the whole reality that we are experiencing is the result of our thought fields. It may not be readily apparent, but we are moving more and more to that conclusion that the thought fields and the creations of the collective unconscious, the collective subconscious, and the noosphere all are part of the thought fields of all of us, and that these thought fields manifest the reality that we are living and experiencing. So therefore, we are able to recreate and recalibrate the thought fields, and that is what the Group of 40 is working on primarily, to help create the right thought field for personal and planetary healing and balancing.
David Miller, thank you very much. This has been extremely informative. And could you say how you can be contacted if viewers would like to receive more information?
Yes, our website is www.groupof40.com, GROUPOFFORTY.com. And on our website we have a great deal of information about our work, about our global network. We have close to 800 people around the world that are working with us in developing biorelativity exercises and creating planetary cities of light, and creating and offering other webinars and workshops on these concepts of planetary healing. You can contact me personally at my email at davidmiller@groupof40.com. And we appreciate very much, Christine, this opportunity to work with you and to talk more about the relationship between planetary healing, crop circles, and medicine wheels.
Thank you again, David.